Hey guys and girls, I'm Links.123 and today is the very first part in our series called Zelda Ocarina of Time History. We all know the nostalgic game called Zelda Ocarina of Time for the N64, later on for the GameCube, and now for the Wii or the Virtual Console for the Wii and Wii U. So, the game is very iconic in the Zelda timeline and probably one of the most played games of all time, or from Nintendo at least. But if we look in the development of the game, then we can see huge differences from the promotion of it or at E3, something like that, to the actual retail version. If you look on the very first stage of the development of Ocarina of Time, you will see this. But how can this be this in only 2 years? Since there happened so much in only 2 years, there are tons of information to give you guys and girls. I can't wait to show you the very beginning to the very end of developing Ocarina of Time. So let's start the history of Zelda Ocarina of Time. So the very first stage of Ocarina of Time was in around 1996. I don't know the correct time for this, but it was a very early stage. It was first time we saw any kind of gameplay or screenshots from the actual in-game. So if you can look on this video that are running on the screen right now, then you can see that Link are fighting this some kind of a Triforce, maybe a little knight thing, I don't know. So anyways, as you can see, this looks very early, and yeah, as I said before, there are no comparison from this to the original version. But if you just take a little look on Link's model, you can see he looks very early. He looks like some kind of a 3D model of the first Zelda games, because he got this brown hair and all these brown textures on his tunic. I think you will call that leggings and shirts. No, not shirts, what can I call them? Sleeves. Yeah, brown sleeves. So yeah, he looks very early. And just take a look on the model itself, it's very looking like a polygon. I know Ocarina of Time wasn't the best in the models too, but this was very edgy. Sadly, this was only a promotion video, there was nothing created in the actual game. I'm sure this little film was only to show us a little preview of the actual game. The game wasn't planned to look like this, but it was just a little teaser for the actual Ocarina of Time. If you take a look on the knight himself, it doesn't look like any kind of an actual enemy in the Zelda series. I will think this was a Triforce or maybe an Iron Knuckle, but yeah, I think also it could be just some kind of a random enemy just to be placed so Link have something to fight with. He looks like some kind of a mirrored thing because he looks like some kind of a silver knight. So yeah, he looks pretty cool, but a very early, edgy and very polygonic thing. Else you can only see the little dungeon looking room, I think. Yeah, it might just be a little room with a very slightly light scene in the background. Yeah, I don't have any idea where this scene should take place, but yeah, it could be a pretty nice thing to know. But even if we know it, then it won't be a place that have been in the retail version of Ocarina of Time, because the room was just some kind of a showcase room. Can I call it that? Yeah, I'm sure I can. So this was the very first stage of developing Zelda Ocarina of Time. I think I will call this the alpha version because it was very early in the production of Ocarina of Time itself. So yeah, we didn't got any other screenshots, and the screenshot I have shown you was only from the actual little video. So yeah, there is nothing to talk about here. But yeah, let's try to take the next version, and I'm sure there is more information about that one. Yes, that's right. The next version is a more simple version of the retail Ocarina of Time. But we can see a huge difference from the alpha version to this version, and this version only came, I think, around 3 months after the alpha version. So yeah, the development have been taking very further on here. So there are tons of screenshots, gameplay videos and much more other stuff I can show you, but since it will take forever, I will only take a part of it, because else, yeah, we will be done next Christmas, and yeah, I don't think we have time for that. Let's just start with the first one, and then we will take my favorite ones and then talk about them. Doesn't sound that cool? Yeah, okay. So the first screenshot is this one. Link is standing in this very weird looking room with 2 Stalfos. The room is called the church, but I don't know what the room is actually for. The funny thing with this little room is actually the room can be found in the debug ROM. Just take a look on this screenshot. Woo! So the debug ROM, as we was talking about, it is a modded version of Ocarina of Time, or what can I call it, a development version of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the GameCube, but can be run on Project 64, which is a Nintendo 64 emulator. You can see every level, every area, and you can steer whatever you want in the game. You can make cutscenes yourself, you can change the amount of arrows, for example, bombs, rupees, yeah, whatever. So yeah, you can totally program the game yourself. Nice. But as you can see on this screenshot and this screenshot, then yeah, the room can be found in the actual game. Whoa. This was a very huge treasure for modders and yeah, the full Zelda community, because we found an actual beta room in the actual retail game, or retail game debug version, but who cares. But yeah, this is pretty cool, and I was amazed first time I tried out this, and it was around 6 years ago when I began to play Zelda and modding it, okay? So yeah, there was a lot of things happening to the game now. As you can see, Link got a slightly different model, but still looks like the older Link, like with the brown sleeves and also a pretty polygon sword. But anyways, we got actual enemies from the retail version in this beta version, and this was the Stalfos. The Stalfos looks very simple to me, but still you can clearly see it is a Stalfos. It got a brown shield and some brown boots. I think these fits them pretty well. And the skeleton looks pretty weird, but still you can clearly see this is a very early Stalfos. As you can see on this video, I'm running around in the debug version in the room, and it looks slightly similar. But there is nothing to do in the room because you can't exit it. You need to die, you need to take another level. So yeah, that's pretty sad. I don't know where this room should be, but I got the idea about maybe, yeah, a church, as I said before, or something like that. But where the church should be, yeah, I don't know. Temple of Time could be an idea, but still, Temple of Time, yeah, you will find a sword. On this screenshot you can't see any sword, but still on the other side it actually could be, because in this version there is no young Link, you're only adult Link, and yeah, maybe Temple of Time could be this. Who knows? But yeah, let's take another screenshot. The next screenshot shows you another beta room that can be found in the debug ROM. Woo! You can see here that Link is standing in front of a Stalfos once again, but yeah, this time he is in another room. It looks pretty similar to the other one, the church. Let's call us that. Let us call it that. But still, it is another room. As I said before, this can also be found in the debug ROM, and you can see me running around here. I have no idea where this place should be, because this looks pretty different from the other, because it's much bigger than the other. But this could also be some kind of the actual Temple of Time, because yeah, it looks pretty, what can I call it, epic? It looks pretty epic, what, right? Because we got this red carpet, we got these stones laying in the sides, and we got these huge pillars? What the fuck? You can see it here, and it looks pretty epic. So yeah, what should be in here? I don't know. But you can find that Triforce should be there, so it might protect something. Or maybe be a boss, I don't know. It also looks something like in the spiritual temple, because of these pillars, what I ever call it. Seriously, because it could be an iron knuckle that was standing in here and just tried to destroy them, just like in the spiritual temple. But who knows, this is a beta room and I got no idea where this place should be. So yeah, let's try to take another screenshot. Okay, this time I took 2 screenshots because it is from the same area. You can see this looks slightly like something we have seen before, and yes, that's right. This is a very early version of the Dongo's Cavern. My idea though, but still, I think this could be a very early Dongo's Cavern. But if you see on this screenshot, which is called the Turtle Rock, could be another version of the Dongo's Cavern. You can also see on this little video that Link are running around in there, and it looks really nice, right? Woo! You can also see on the in-game HUD that we only got 2 buttons, the A and B button. So this is the version called the A and B version. Or that's what I call it. But anyways, this was a very early build, so yeah. I don't know why we don't see any C buttons on the screen, but I got the idea about that you should be able to steer the camera with the C buttons, because Super Mario 64 came out in 1996, and this version of Ocarina of Time was from the same year as Super Mario 64, so it could be some kind of a same button style there. In Super Mario 64, the camera will like zoom in on Mario and you should be able to move his head around. And a little video shows us that Link should be able to do it. Just try to take a look here. Pretty nice, huh? So yeah, I don't know the mechanic right, but still it could be the same function here. I got no idea, but my idea is, yeah, it's true. So anyways, you can also see on the rupees here, it doesn't matter with the count, because I think it's a very early build and also a beta testing version. So yeah, the amount is just 123 or 123, so yeah, who cares. So anyways, yeah, you can see the rupees underneath my hearts, and that, yeah, I don't know, it feels pretty uncomfortable to me, because they are like pressed together, and yeah, it doesn't fit for the game, I think. But still, yeah, it's a very early build for sure. Let's try to talk about the A and B button once again, because you can only see the bumps and a sword, and I got no idea what this sword is. Maybe the Master Sword, maybe just a random sword, who knows, who cares. But still, yeah, I think this is just a random sword, because it doesn't look like anything we have seen before. You can also see on the bumps, I don't know amount of the bumps, it looks like 11. That will be probably the most possible thing, but it also looks like 77. But yeah, who cares, that's just a fucking amount, right? And also the last thing, and that's pretty cool, because Link is holding his shield in one hand without having the sword out on the other. Glitches allows Link to do this in the retail version, but yeah, since it's not in the game, yeah, it's a difference from this version to the retail version. So back to the screenshot of the Turtle Rock. I don't know where this dungeon should be, but as I can read on the internet, this dungeon should be like something around Dodongo's Cavern. I know these other 2 screenshots were showing at the Dodongo's Cavern clearly, But yeah, the turtle rock should be the Dodongo's cabin. So, you can see it should be a turtle head, and yeah, I got no idea what is going on here, because it's a turtle head, and where should this be? Because a turtle, a beach maybe? It could be something about the Soras, but no, this looks like something with fire, lava, and also it should be a, what can I call, replacement for the Dodongo's cabin. So yeah, I have no idea what is going on with this turtle. It's really weird, man. But yeah, it looks really cool, and I would love to see more gameplay from this, but I couldn't find anything on the internet, and I have been looking for 3 years now, so yeah, just forget it. So the next 4 screenshots is from the same area, and that is the market town. We all know the market town as the little nice place where you could find some few shops and yeah, do some different quests and yeah, you know. But in this version it's a very huge place actually. You can see on these 4 screenshots that it is actually a 3D model. What? Yeah, I know it looks very simple and very early. You can see on these few screenshots that Link is running around, and yeah, you can actually see him in a third-person view. This is really nice, and I even love the textures of the houses, because it looks much more medieval than the original Ocarina of Time. It looks pretty much like a Zelda game in the retail version, I know, but yeah, this looks much more like adventure game feeling. It looks much more medieval, as I said. Yeah, it looks perfect to me. Maybe too much yellow in the colors, but yeah, you can always change it in some way. So yeah, it's sadly a change that we need to live with in the original Ocarina of Time. One of these screenshots shows this NPC called Aria. Aria should be a replacement for Malong, so she should be the farm girl, you know, just as Malong on the Long Ranch. You can also see on this screenshot that Aria is actually a NPC that are standing at different place now. She's not only being in the market town, but also in Lake Hylia. What? Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but you can clearly see that with the house and also this weird looking texture in the background, this is Lake Hylia. So Aria should be in Market Town and also at Lake Hylia. This makes no sense to me at all, but yeah, she's a girl that likes traveling, I think. The next screenshot, yeah, there are more of them, actually shows us the very holy grail of Zelda. Yeah, Link is getting the Triforce in Ocarina of Time. What the fuck? Yeah, that's right. You can even see on this little video that Link are getting the Triforce. Amazing, right? And this video have been discussed many times on forums. It have been watched millions of times on the internet. So yeah, it's a very known video, but sadly it wasn't true in the retail version because yeah, it was also taken down by Nintendo, or taken away from the actual game. So yeah, Link is standing in this very little room, and yeah, walks up these stairs, and then he opens this kind of chest? Yeah, some kind of a box. It looks like something from the Ice Cavern, and then he retrieves the Triforce. Wow. Also, this screenshot, or these screenshots, shows the background of the room, or the entrance to the room. I have no idea where this should be, but I think it should be something with the Ice Cavern, because the textures looks blue and white. It looks clearly like ice, like the textures from Ocarina of Time, so it fits perfectly together. I have no idea what this is or where it should be, but wow, man, I would give millions of dollars just to find this room in the game. But sadly, yeah, there are no place to find it. So the next screenshot, and yes, this time it's only one screenshot, you can see as Triforce and Link is fighting in Ganon's castle. Yeah, okay, so Ganondorf was planned to be in the game right now, and that's pretty nice. So we know the enemy, the head enemy in the game, so yeah, there was some kind of a storyline already planned this time. But yeah, it's a little fighting scene and it looks pretty similar to the actual Ganon's castle as we know it in Ocarina of Time. So yeah, we already got some few things that we can actually relate to in the retail version. Nice! So the next screenshot is also from Ganon's castle, but this time you see a golden knight. I think this is a very early version of the Iron Knuckle, but yeah, he looks pretty nice. He even got a shield and a sword and something blue in the middle of his suit there. What? But anyways, we can see this is clearly Ganon's castle because of the textures, because of the light in the background, and because of the door. Because it looks pretty much like the one in Ganon's castle. I got no idea, but yeah, I think it should be Ganon's castle. Also because of the enemy place there, because yeah, there are these knights, Iron Knuckles in Ganon's castle. So yeah, I think it should be there. The next screenshot is this very scary picture actually, because it shows you a dead hand or wall master, I think, attacking Link. Some people says that this should be a labyrinth that Link is standing in, but I'm sure this is some kind of a very early build of Bottom of the Well because of this texture placement, and also because we got wall masters, dead hands, in Bottom of the Well, and also because if you look very closely in the background, you can see the road here is actually turning left. And I think that should be some kind of the corners in Bottom of the Well. But yeah, what do I know? Anyways, this looks really creepy and the dead hand looks very polygonic to me. But still he looks really creepy, and also Link is just very tiny to the size of the dead hand. So yeah, I think Link is really going to watch out now. There's not much to say about this screenshot because we can't see anything in the background, only that the road is turning left, and my idea is it is Bottom of the Well, but yeah, who knows. The last screenshots I will show you from this version is these four. It shows you a very early build of the Lost Woods. Yes, that's right, this time it is actually woods, not just like different rooms that are placed differently with weird skull kits in it. No, this time we actually got a Poe in them, and we even got trees that are separated from each other, so you can run between them, and we also can see on this screenshot we even got a road. Maybe to follow, I don't know. But yeah, this looks really nice because it is actually the Lost Woods, not just the Lost Rooms, as you could call them in the retail version. I don't know why the Poe is placed there, because a Poe, a forest, nah, it makes no sense, more like a wolf or something. But yeah, it's a very early build, so yeah, they could put a princess in there and it could be an enemy, for fuck's sake. So anyways, we can see Link here is shooting with his bow there, and it looks really heroic. We can't see any sky here because the trees are like putting its leaves over there, so we can't look out of the forest. And also the background, I don't know what's going on there, but it's just some gray texture. So yeah, it's not done, this area. Really, it's not done at all. So that was all for now, guys and girls. I hope you enjoyed watching the very first part of Zelda Ocarina of Time history. I hope you all got some new information about the game's development, saw some new screenshots, just saw some new gameplay videos, got some new theories to your head just to think about to the next episode is coming out. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me talking for so many minutes. Wow, man. And yeah, looking through these screenshots and all this.